Hello, and welcome back to Rural Vermiculture. Last week, um, my worms didn't tend to eat all of their food. They had quite a bit of leftovers from the pumpkin, and seemed like there was quite a bit of the lime left over in their feeding area, along with the uh, the processed foods, vegetables that I'd blended up and frozen into cubes. So I left them to that because there was quite a bit. I left them to that, and I didn't feed them anything except for coffee grounds. So within the past 17 days, the only thing that they've had to eat were coffee grounds. So there I am without gloves. I need to put my gloves on. Um, well, from the lid, it doesn't look like there's too much of an issue with moisture now. I think that may be fairly under control. And it was looking pretty good the last time that I was in here. Trying to hurry up and get my gloves on so we can get in here and check on them, see how they're doing. Pretty anxious to see myself. And Merry Christmas, by the way. So, you could see worm castings. They've been crawling around on top of their covering here. Can you see all these springtails here? See if I can make them hop. But there's a pretty good cluster of springtails there, and I'm not sure what this is. Okay, check inside of here. It don't appear that any worms have crawled up inside of the paper. There's a new type of bug. What are you? Looks like a baby snapping bug. I'm not sure. Okay. This looks slimy. A little bit. I'm not sure if that's just from the worm secreting stuff on it or what. I'm supposing that it probably is. That's what I would figure. Okay, so here we go with the tomato sprouts. I'll just throw those anywhere because they're not intended food for the worms, although it is food for the worms. But nothing that I prepared special for them. So I'll just let them eat it wherever they can. They'll get to it. And there's a bunch more sprouts getting ready to pop up, but they haven't quite made it yet. So their marker's gone here. But I do know that I fed them right in the center. Well, I didn't really feed them so much as put their food back in there. And I'm still seeing stuff, but it's looking like just more of the same. And there is a fairly clear cocoon right there, so they're still breeding. With the polar vortex we've just had, it's been pretty cold, but I've kept this room fairly warm, and stuck a thermometer down around bin level, and it was reading out about, I think the lowest that I allowed it to get in this room down around bin level was about 59 degrees, which ain't bad for red wigglers. They can handle it. They can handle it, but I don't think that that's preferable temperatures to them. I wouldn't particularly think myself. But as I'm seeing fresh cocoons in here, I'm starting to rethink that. Favorable conditions should be somewhere between 60 to 75 degrees for these worms, or maybe even 60 to 70, but which most of the time they were within like 62 degrees. When it went down to like 1 below zero, nice big fat worm. He's not the best one I've got in here by far, but that's pretty common. That you ain't gonna get too much bigger than that. He is a nice worm. And I'm still seeing more fresh cocoons down in here. I think it got up to about 25 degrees today. Yes, that was a good thing. Just hope the temperature keeps climbing. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to get a feed on today. And I still have their lettuce set aside, but now it might be a bit difficult to get to. I'm going to try to get to it. The camera stand and is blocking my little fridge that I keep for them. Well, it's not all for them. I keep drinks in there too, but I wouldn't dedicate a fridge to them just yet. Okay, they all appear to be happy. That's good. Probably less happy now than they were 8 minutes ago. Just clear out their feeding area here. Now I feel a little bit silly because I like to progressively feed my worms, switch them from end to middle to end, and by now I should have probably marked my bins. Well, I should have marked my bins to let me know exactly where I've been feeding them and where I need to continue to feed them. If so, I would switch at this point, but their bedding is, they're eating their bedding pretty quickly. And I've had these worms for Well, let's see, since October 31st, I'm trying to clear out a path to get to the lettuce, but since October 31st is whenever I first harvested these from the compost bucket, the in-ground compost bucket. And in that time, they've pretty much gone through their bedding. And I'm trying to add more bedding to extend the life of this bin because I would like it to go on a bit further. But they've been in here for about, well, close to 2 months. Let me put some bedding down for them first and get ahead of myself. I'm very surprised actually that they hadn't gone through the last bit of bedding. Some bit of bedding from a couple feedings ago, but feedings in terms that the last time all they got to eat was just the leftovers that they didn't eat from the week before, and that's been 17 days at this point. But I'm surprised that they haven't eaten all their shredded cardboard. I would have thought for sure they'd have gotten all that by now. Yeah, I only had them like a small head of lettuce. There's more of it, but I'm not going to feed it all to them because I got some pumpkin for them as well. And I'm sure they're looking forward to some good frozen foods after that heat wave we just had. Nah, seriously, they'll thaw out pretty quickly here. I ain't going to feed them a whole lot right now. I think I must have gotten ahead of myself some point in the past to create that amount of leftovers that we was looking at, which led to them having to eat those leftovers with just a little bit of coffee added to them. So, alright, we got them some lettuce. We got them some shredded cardboard, some lettuce. I'm going to add some grit. Maddox, put your shirt over your mouth there, buddy. Make sure you don't get none of this in you. I don't wear respirators or anything. I'm not even sure that it's dangerous to breathe this in, but I don't like the idea of it. I got my son here. He's watching me. He's recording. And that's strange. I don't usually see pests inside of the coffee, but I just did. And since it looks like there wasn't anything but cardboard left over, I didn't really see anything. I think I went a little overboard on the line before, so I'm going to try to lighten up on that. Now I'll sprinkle in some worm chow. Me and my brother went to Green's Feed and Seed and sourcing their grains and came up with this chow ourselves. And the worms seem to like it a lot. He puts out cups of it on his worm bins, and they may be through that in like 2 or 3 days. So it's a pretty good blend we made up for him. We put sugar in it too, which we know that's not original, but you know, we put sugar in it because sugar helps the microbes in the bedding and the castings to grow themselves. And that's what the worms are really there to eat, is the microbes. But I'm going to cover these up now. I believe I've not left anything out at this point, and that looks like a good feeding. And I would like to extend the life of this bin, but I'm contemplating on how I'm going to do that, whether I want to add in some more peat moss or not. But I don't really think I need to or want to. I would kind of like to, but this bin is already this full. It's right near the top. So to go forward with more bedding might mean dumping this whole container out into a much larger container with a lot of shredded cardboard and peat moss, just to extend the life of the bin. And so let me know what you think about that. I'm kind of thinking about splitting the bin. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed the episode, give me a like. If you're not a member of the channel and you'd like to be, hit subscribe. And if you would like to know what I'm doing when I'm releasing new videos, hit the bell for notification. And thank you for watching.